Welcome to Messages from the Universe with Laurie Wondra. Laurie is an internationally renowned psychic medium, author, and shamanic practitioner, sharing insights from angels, guides, wisdom keepers, and teachers of the universe that help you navigate life's mysteries and transformations.
Hello, I am Laurie Wondra, and thank you for listening. This week's topic, or the title of this podcast, is A World Awaiting Your Footprint. And it's about reflections on time and purpose and the meaning of our presence. We seem to be being pushed by the universe to really understand or engage in our presence, why we're here. I seem to hear a lot more people asking the questions, what's my purpose? Why am I here? Or why is this happening? Well, there's something about a birthday or an anniversary or a gateway when the universe provides this gentle interruption to the rhythm of our everyday life. Now, birthdays arrive once a year, but the universe gives us plenty of opportunities throughout our lives, throughout the year, through these gateways, to reflect. These points of reflection may never feel quite the same. For example, a birthday, well, some years it might feel like we're celebrating outward and full of motion and joy and happiness, and other years it might feel more inward, more reflective, and almost more sacred, like standing at the edge of a threshold, looking both behind and ahead at the very same time. I personally use my birthday each year as a time to reflect where I've been and what I've done and where I'm going and what I yet want to do. It's often a long conversation with the universe, and I did this on my last birthday months ago, and I've been noodling on it off and on ever since. Because this year, the energy to me felt like there was more of a pause to it. Not a pause of stopping, but a pause more of going deeper or more awareness. A moment where I could feel the accumulation of time, not as something heavy, but as something really meaningful. A moment where I could look at where I've been, what I have created, what I have let go of, and what still feels unfinished or is quietly waiting. And the truth is, it doesn't need to be a birthday for this kind of reflection to arise, because the universe is giving us lots and lots of opportunities to pause and reflect. In fact, it's encouraging us to pause and reflect, to observe where we are in life. There are moments throughout our lives that naturally invite us inward. Retrogrades with the planets really invite us to go inward. A season change, the completion of something meaningful, whether it's a project, a conversation that maybe lingers long after it's ended, a loss that shifts our perspective, or a beginning that quietly opens something new within us. Even a still morning where something simply feels different. Where I am, it's spring moving into early summer, and I love to wake slowly to the birds singing, the sounds of nature and movement, and a reminder, I am here. These are the subtle thresholds, points where life gently asks us to pause, to notice, to reflect. And in these moments, whether marked by a date on the calendar, such as a birthday or an anniversary or a special date, or it's simply a feeling, a shift within the heart, a similar awareness can emerge. And I say this is where the world has been waiting to see or to understand, or for you to see or understand your footprint. Not in a way that demands urgency or pressure, but in a way that invites presence. Because our footprint is not something we leave only at the end of our lives. It's something we're leaving every single day. Now, today I'd like to share 12 concepts that have developed, things that I've been noodling on and talking to the universe and listening to the universe since my last birthday. And these are not 12 fixed items, but I do hope that they inspire you because the footprint is something we're always leaving. So let's take a run through those. And starting with that fact that the footprint we are always leaving. We often think of our footprint as something large, our accomplishments, our milestones, the visible markers of success that others can see. Careers built, families raised, goals achieved and celebrated, lists that we've checked off as complete or done. And yes, those things certainly matter. And as we grow older, they often take on deeper significance, not because of the status, but because of the effort, the resilience, the choices that brought them into being, that brought you to that place of experience. But the truth is, our footprint is far more subtle. It's far more powerful than any list of accomplishments. Our footprint is the energy we carry into every room. It is the way we speak to someone when no one is watching. It's the choice we make when we're uncertain, tired, afraid. It's how we hold ourselves in moments of both success and disappointment. Our footprint is not just where we go. It's also how we arrive. This is the essence of intentional presence, the understanding that simply being here, fully aware, is already shaping the world around us. Which leads me to number 2, the evolution of meaning over time. When we were younger, goals often felt really external. We'd measure ourselves by what we could achieve, what we would build, what we could prove. Now, there's a natural desire to move forward quickly, to establish identity, to create something tangible. But over time, that seems to shift because the list of accomplishments often become less about validation and more about reflection. We begin to ask different questions. Did what I created matter? Did it align with who I truly am? Did I lose myself anywhere along the way? And where did I grow? Where did I maybe hold back and prevent my growth? We begin to recognize that purposeful movement is not about constant motion. It's about aligned motion. Not every step needs to be fast. Not every step needs to be visible. But every step carries meaning. Even the ones that felt like detours, even the ones that felt like mistakes, because each step shapes the terrain that we now stand on. And within that awareness comes something equally important. You are allowed to evolve. Your footprint is not fixed. It's not defined by who you were 5 years ago or even who you were yesterday. It shifts as you grow, as you heal, and as you become more aware of what truly matters. You are allowed to outgrow old identities. You're allowed to change direction. You're allowed to walk differently than you once did. Because evolution is not inconsistency. It is alignment in motion. Even the ones that felt like detours, even the ones that felt like mistakes, because each step shapes the terrain we now stand on. And within that realization comes something equally important, which is number 3, permission to evolve. Your footprint is not fixed. It's not defined by who you were 5 years ago or even who you were yesterday. It shifts as you grow, as you heal, as you become more aware. And evolution is about becoming more aware. There are versions of you that were necessary for the time you were in. And there are versions of you now that are asking you to be lived more fully now based on what you need now. So you're allowed to outgrow old identities. You are allowed to walk differently than you once did. You are allowed to change direction, refine your path, and redefine what matters. Because evolution is not inconsistency, it is alignment in motion. Number 4, the courage to be seen. There's a quiet truth that emerges in reflection. Leaving a meaningful footprint requires visibility, and visibility is not always comfortable. To be seen is to risk being misunderstood. To be seen is to stand in your authenticity even when it maybe doesn't match others' expectations, or maybe it doesn't match your expectations at that moment. To be seen is to stop shrinking in order to make others more comfortable. For many of us, there have been moments where we've softened our voice, dimmed our light, or held back our truth, not because we didn't know who we were, but because we were navigating spaces that didn't fully see or understand us. But a world is awaiting your footprint, and it's not asking for a smaller version of you. It's asking for your authentic expression, your voice, your perspective, your lived experience. Not perfected, not filtered, but real. Which takes me to number 5, the responsibility of our impact. Every footprint leaves an impression. Some are light and temporary. Others shape the path for those who come after us. And as we grow in awareness, we begin to understand the responsibility of our impact, not in a heavy way, but in a conscious one. We begin to notice the energy we bring into conversations, the assumptions we carry, the ways we respond under pressure, the patterns we might repeat without even realizing it. We begin to recognize that our presence can either create openness or contraction, clarity or confusion, and connection or distance. This is where energetic influence becomes real. We are not just participants in the world. We are contributors to the field of it. And that awareness invites choice. Which brings me to number 6, creation through choice. There is a powerful realization that often comes with time. We are not simply walking a path, we are creating it. Every decision, every boundary, every yes, every no shapes the direction of our lives. Sometimes we choose from clarity. Other times we choose from a place of fear, conditioning, or expectation. But even those choices become part of our learning, our growth, our refinement. And over time, we begin to choose more consciously, more aware. And we begin to ask, does this choice align with who I am now? Does this choice support where I'm going? Is this coming from a place of truth, or is it coming from a place of habit? And this is where life becomes less reactive and more intentional. This is where we begin to walk with awareness. Which brings me to number 7, the collective thread. One of the most humbling realizations is that our journey is never just our own. Every step we take contributes to something larger. When we heal, we create space for others to heal. When we speak, we give others permission to do the same. And when we choose growth, or calm, or peace, or happiness, or joy, we shift the collective energy for those things. We're not separate from the world we walk in. We're shaping it together. Which brings me to number 8, redefining legacy. There was a time when legacy felt like something far, far away, something that was measured at the end of a life, and something that others might look upon or judge upon or be some sort of measurement as to how you lived. But now, legacy to me feels different. Legacy is not just what we leave behind, but it's what we create in the present moment. It is in the conversations that shift perspective. It's in the support we offer, the questions we ask, the curiosity we demonstrate. It's in the integrity we choose when no one's watching. It's in the quiet moments where we remain true to our authentic selves. Our footprint is being formed right now, not someday, not later, not tomorrow, but now. And number 9, trusting the path ahead. One of the greatest gifts that comes with time is trust. Not blind trust, not passive trust, but a grounded, embodied trust in the unfolding of life. We begin to understand that clarity often comes through movement, but not before it. That uncertainty is not a sign of being lost, it's often a sign of expansion. And that everything needs to be known in advance. And perhaps, most importantly, we begin to understand this. The world is not waiting for you to be perfect. It's not waiting for you to have everything figured out. It's not waiting for the finished version of you. But it is responding to your willingness to show up. Presence matters more than perfection. A real step forward, even if uncertain, creates momentum and movement. And because the universe is always perpetually in this state of movement, it responds. This is an honest expression because it creates connection. So waiting for perfection delays the footprint you are already ready to leave. But presence, true, grounded, authentic presence, that is what shapes the path. And so we continue, not with urgency, but with intention. And perhaps most importantly, not waiting until everything is perfect before we move. Because there is a deeper truth that reveals itself over time. Which takes me to number 10. Presence matters more than perfection. The world is not waiting for you to have everything figured out. It's not waiting for the polished version, the finished version, the certain version of you. It is responding to your willingness to show up right here, as you are, now, this moment. A real step forward, even if uncertain, creates movement. An imperfect expression, spoken honestly, creates connection. Waiting for perfection delays the footprint you are already ready to leave. But presence, true, grounded, authentic presence, that shapes your path. Your presence matters. You matter. Its perfection is perfection if you are present in this moment. And number 11, the world still waits. Now, as I reflected on this past year and on the many quiet moments that invited me to go inward beyond just a birthday, I realized something simple, yet something incredibly deeply meaningful. There is still more of me to bring forward. Not because I haven't done enough, but because growth doesn't end. There's still expressions not fully lived, still ideas waiting to take form, still ways of being that are unfolding. And the world is not asking me for perfection. It's simply waiting for presence. It's waiting for me to explore, to live, to experience, to expand. It's waiting for my truth, my authenticity, for the willingness to step forward and leave a conscious imprint. And know I am creating an imprint each time I enter as well as leave a space. Which takes me to number 12, walking forward. A birthday is not just a marker of time. An anniversary is not just a date on the calendar. And reflection is not limited to a single day. It lives with us in the pauses, in the moment. Maybe I'm driving. Maybe I'm sitting out back. Maybe I'm pulling weeds in my garden. These all can be transitions. These can be moments of quiet awareness that something within us is shifting. I can be present to my thoughts, my feelings, my actions, who I am each and every moment. Do I like who I am? Do I like how I show up? These are the moments that invite us to honor where we have been, recognize who we have become, and choose again how we will move forward. Not as who we were, but as who we are now and who we are now becoming. Because the world is not shaped by a single defining step. It is shaped by the accumulation of many, many, many small intentional ones where it required us to be present, to be who we were, whoever that was at that present moment. Steps that evolve, steps that refine, steps that do not require perfection, only presence. And so the question is not, what have I accomplished, but rather, how have I shown up? What have I contributed? What kind of footprint am I leaving now? Because wherever you are in your journey, whether that's marked by a birthday, an anniversary, a retrograde, or simply you're taking a pause or a rest, a time to reflect, this is a moment of awareness because the world is still awaiting your foot. Before I go today, I want to leave you with 10 reflections on the footprint that you're here to leave. Number 1, intentional presence. Your footprint is not just where you go, but how you arrive, fully aware, conscious, and aligned with your truth. Number 2, energetic influence. Every thought, every word, every action leaves an imprint. You are constantly shaping the energetic field around you. If I were to tell you, when I look at you, your energy field is waving and moving, much like water moves or air moves around you. Number 3, purposeful movement. Life is not random wandering. It is a guided exploration. Your steps carry meaning, even when the path isn't fully visible. Number 4, authentic expression. The world is not waiting for perfection. It's waiting for your real voice, your lived truth, where you are today, your unique frequency. Number 5, responsibility of impact. A footprint can nurture or it can also disrupt. So awareness of your impact invites more compassionate, conscious choices. Number 6, courage to be seen. Leaving a footprint requires visibility. It asks you to step out of hiding and into your full presence. Number 7, create through choice. Each decision shapes the terrain ahead. You're not just walking the path, you are creating it. And number 8, connection to collective evolution. Your individual journey contributes to the greater whole. Personal growth ripples outward into collective transformation. Number 9, legacy beyond time. Your footprint is not limited to this moment. It echoes through relationships, teachings, and the energy you walk into and you leave behind. And number 10, trust in the path unfolding. Even uncertain steps matter. You matter. The world meets you as you move, revealing the path through your willingness to walk it. I'm Laurie Wondra of Your Life Core, and I am such in deep gratitude for you joining me today and listening because you matter. The world is awaiting and aware of your footprints.
Thank you for listening to Messages from the Universe. For information about Laurie Wondra's current events or to schedule a private session, visit her website, yourlifecore.com. You can also subscribe to her monthly newsletter. Laurie also shares inspirational and informational messages on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Thanks again for listening.